From Neural Newscast, I'm Thatcher Collins.
Thomas Keene.
About 1,500 active-duty soldiers are on standby for potential deployment to Minneapolis as city protests intensify. The soldiers belong to the 11th Airborne Division and are currently based at Fort Wainwright in Alaska. This move comes as federal officials weigh the use of the Insurrection Act to manage civil unrest. It is a massive logistical scale that underscores the gravity of the situation on the ground.
Thomas, we are seeing real-world impacts on public works and transportation as these demonstrations continue to grow. The St. Paul Veterans Affairs Regional Benefit Office has closed its physical location at the Whipple Federal Building. Minneapolis police are actively using vehicles to block roadways and manage the flow of traffic around City Hall. Crowds have generally been responsive to police directives, but the footprint of these operations is expanding daily.
Exactly. Thatcher, the tension stems from two recent shootings involving federal immigration officers that have sparked daily demonstrations. Governor Tim Walz has already mobilized the Minnesota National Guard to assist local law enforcement agencies. These Guard members will wear reflective vests to distinguish themselves from other federal agents in the area. It is a delicate balance between maintaining public safety and respecting the rights of those gathered.
And the legal situation is also getting more complicated for state and city leaders, Thomas. The Justice Department is reportedly investigating Governor Walz and Mayor Jacob Frey for an alleged conspiracy to impede federal agents. Meanwhile, a federal judge has already issued orders to limit the tactics law enforcement may use against protesters. These overlapping legal battles are creating a very complex environment for anyone navigating the downtown area.
Still, the human element remains at the forefront as counter-protesters recently clashed with activists outside City Hall. Conservative influencer Jake Lang was reportedly injured during a physical altercation with a much larger group of demonstrators. Aerial footage captured several physical fights as snowballs and water balloons were thrown before police intervened. This volatility is why the military remains on standby as a possible final resort for the administration.
Turning now to the national championship game where the University of Miami prepares for a historic night. Miami head coach Mario Cristobal leads the Hurricanes into Hard Rock Stadium for the college football playoff final. This game represents more than just a sports milestone for the city and the Cristobal family. It is a culmination of a journey that began deep in the hills of rural Cuba decades ago.
Thatcher, the story of Mario's grandfather, Mario Campos, is truly an incredible example of the American dream. Campos was a former police officer in Cuba who fled to Florida in 1961 after being imprisoned. He arrived without the ability to speak English and worked as a dishwasher to save for a produce truck. He eventually founded a construction company, despite having no prior experience in that specific field of work.
Yup. Thomas, that same grit was passed down to Mario's father, Luis, who also spent time in Cuban prisons. Luis opened a car battery business and worked until the day he died to support his two sons. The boys grew up in Miami, living in a home built by their grandfather on Southwest 25th Street. Now, Mario returns to his hometown to lead his team on one of the biggest stages in sports.
Exactly. It is fascinating to see how that family philosophy of self-reliance has translated into Mario's coaching style. His brother Lou says they all believed that if anyone could do it, they could do it too. That mindset has revitalized a Miami program that was looking to regain its former national dominance. Monday night will be a full circle moment for a family that arrived with nothing and built a legacy.
Thatcher, the atmosphere at Hard Rock Stadium will likely be electric as the community rallies behind one of their own. For the fans and the players, this game is the result of years of infrastructure and program building. Whether they win or lose, the story of the Cristobal family is already etched into the fabric of Miami. It is a reminder of how sports can reflect the broader history of a city and its people.
I'm Thatcher Collins.
And I'm Thomas Keene. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.